Grindr is supposed to connect people, but what happens when someone connects to you and never lets go? A date that starts with a strange request but spirals into something much darker, a mysterious profile that watches from the shadows, learning your every move. The messages never stop, the obsession grows, and by the time you realize what's happening, it's already too late. These aren't just horror stories, these are warnings. Because some people on Grindr don't just want a hookup, they want you.
Story 1. A hunger for nails. The Grindr chat had seemed normal enough. His name was Landon, older than me by a few years, tall, a little lanky, but attractive in that quiet, intense way. His messages were playful but polite. No overt thirst, no weird kinks, no immediate red flags. You ever been to Tony's, best pizza downtown? A casual dinner date, totally normal. So why, when I sat across from him at the small, dimly lit pizza joint, did I feel like I had made a mistake? Maybe it was the way he was biting his nails, not in a nervous, subconscious way. Aggressive, deliberate, teeth digging in, peeling strips from the edges like he was savoring it. I tried not to stare. Bad habit, he muttered, catching me looking. I forced a chuckle. Happens. He dropped his hand to the table, studied mine instead. You have really pretty nails. His voice was low, almost admiring. Thanks, I said, shifting slightly in my seat. His eyes flicked up to mine. Mind if I chew on them? At first I thought I misheard, but no, he was dead serious. I laughed, awkward. Yeah, that's a no from me. He grinned, too wide. Oh, you want to wait till we get home? He teased. I get it. I can even nibble on your toenails if you're into that. A nauseating chill curled through my stomach. Something was wrong with him. I forced a tight smile and reached for my phone, thinking of an excuse to leave. But he leaned in slightly. Relax, he said. I'm just messing with you. It didn't sound like a joke. By the time we finished eating, I had decided I wasn't going anywhere but home. Then as we stepped outside, Landon gestured toward his car. Real quick, I want to show you something cool. Every instinct told me to leave, but I got in his car anyway. We drove to the park on the edge of town, empty at this hour, just a few streetlights buzzing against the night. We sat at a bench near a fountain, the water barely visible in the dim light. Sorry if I weirded you out earlier, Landon said. I just think hands are really beautiful. Fingers, nails, something about them. He reached into his pocket, pulling out a small ketchup packet from the restaurant. Let me try something? He asked. I hesitated. Try what? He grinned again, holding up the ketchup. I just want to see what it looks like on your nails. My pulse ticked up. Dude, what the fuck? Landon shrugged. Just humor me. It's artistic. I wanted to say no, but part of me was stuck, the same way you can't look away from a car crash. I let him squeeze a thin line of ketchup across my fingernails. The thick red dripped down my knuckles, pooling in the creases of my skin. Landon's pupils blown wide as he stared. I yanked my hand back and wiped it on my jeans, standing up. I think I'm done for tonight. But he caught my wrist, gripped just a little too strong. One more thing, he said softly. Then I'll take you home. My stomach turned. What? Landon pulled out a small needle. I felt a cold rush in my limbs, my vision narrowing. He held it up like it was nothing. I want to see if a few drops of blood would look even better. The way he said it, casual, calm, like asking to borrow a pen. I ripped my arm away. Are you insane? His expression didn't change. Not insane, he murmured. I just always thought I was a little bit like a vampire. Not in a drink your blood way. Just, I feel like I have a hunger for things like that. A hunger. That word rang in my head like an alarm. I turned and walked, fast, heading straight back to the car. Landon followed. You're overreacting, he said behind me. It's not like I'd take much. I got in, slammed the door. He slid into the driver's seat like nothing had happened, and for some stupid, unexplainable reason, I let him drive. I don't know why I didn't just call an Uber or run, but we were on the highway before I knew it, heading further away from town, trees rising tall around us. And then he turned onto a dirt road leading into the woods. My chest tightened. Where the hell are we going? I demanded. Landon exhaled like I was being dramatic. I just want to show you something first. It'll be worth it. I didn't want to see. I just wanted to get out. But the road was too dark, the forest too dense, and my heartbeat was hammering so hard in my ears I could barely think. A clearing appeared up ahead, a small old cabin, lights already on, like he had planned this. "I promise," he said, his voice almost soothing. "This is going to be peaceful." I reached for my phone. No signal. I gripped the door handle instead. "Turn around, now." Landon parked, didn't move to shut off the car. "You'll like this," he said. "I made it perfect." He got out, walked around to my side, slowly opening the door. I should have ran, but I stepped out. The cabin door was already open. Inside, it was dark, except for the glow of heaters. 3 of them. 2 space heaters and 1 electric fireplace heater, all casting an eerie orange glow, filling the cabin with soft, flickering light. The hum of them filled the silence. It reminded me of something, that strange, forgotten comfort of sitting in a dark room as a child, the sound of marbles rolling, the feeling of warmth. Landon watched me, eyes bright. "Feels good, right?" My stomach turned. "It's peaceful," he whispered. "I wanted it to be just right, for us." I stepped backward. "I'm leaving." Landon sighed. Then he lifted his hand, and I saw it. My own fingernail between his teeth. A small, fresh piece of me. I don't remember running. I don't remember how I got to the road. I only remember the glow of the heaters flickering behind me, the low hum following me into the night, and the sound of Landon whispering my name as I fled. Story 2. The Man Who Watched. It started with a message. "You looked so hot today. I'm glad we're neighbors." I was in Berlin, spending a few months abroad, soaking up the city's nightlife, the gym culture, the saunas. Grindr was just for fun, a way to meet people, kill time. The guy who messaged me didn't have a profile pic, just a blank avatar, no name, just a distance marker that said 20 meters away. I ignored it, but he didn't stop. "We talked today, but you didn't realize it. Loved the new restaurant you tried? You look even better in real life than in your pics." Then one night I got a photo. It was me, drinking at a bar, laughing with friends. The angle was too close, not taken from across the room, but nearby, maybe even the next table over. My stomach knotted as I stared at the image. "I'd do anything for you," he wrote. I blocked him immediately. A week passed. One night I was sitting in my apartment, eating a bowl of cottage cheese with fruit, watching Netflix, trying to push the weird messages out of my mind. Then my phone vibrated, a notification. I hesitated before checking it, but it wasn't a message. It was a new Grindr profile, no name, no picture, 20 meters away. A new headline, "I love watching you eat." My blood ran cold. I froze, spoon still halfway to my mouth, scanning the room, the windows, the balcony. Was someone watching me right now? The next message came within seconds. "You don't even know how sexy it is, the way your lips touch the spoon. I bet that cottage cheese would feel so good smeared all over you. Imagine stroking me with it. It'd be warm, sticky. I bet it'd make the perfect lube." I felt like I was going to throw up. I slammed my laptop shut, turned off all the lights, locked the doors. But the messages kept coming. "Don't be scared. I'd take such good care of you. I know exactly what you need. You'll understand soon." That night, I barely slept. A few nights later, I went out for beers with friends. At some point, things got hazy. I only had 2 drinks. I wasn't drunk, but my head felt light, my limbs sluggish. I remember standing up to go to the bathroom, and then nothing, blackness. When I woke up, it was morning. I was back in my apartment, fully clothed, sprawled on my couch. My head pounded, my mouth tasted like metal, and my underwear was missing. Panic slammed through me. I checked my phone. One new message. It wasn't from a contact, just a random number. "You sleep so peacefully." I choked on air, my whole body tensed, hands trembling as I scrolled up, because there was a photo attached, a picture of me, passed out on the couch, my shirt pushed up slightly, exposing my stomach. I checked the door, locked. Windows? Locked. Had he been inside? Had he done something to me? I checked myself. My body felt normal, no soreness, no bruises, but still, I had blacked out. I had no idea what happened. I called my friends, demanded to know what happened the night before. They swore I had left the bar alone. that I was fine when I walked out. But I wasn't. Something had happened. I just didn't know what. I tried to move on, deleted Grindr, stopped going to the usual bars, but the feeling of being watched never left. And then, one night, a new number texted me. "I want to show you something. Meet me at the bridge." I almost ignored it, almost blocked it, but something in me needed to know, so like a fucking idiot, I went. The bridge was quiet when I arrived. No cars, no people, just the distant hum of the city and the river below. And then he stepped out from the shadows. Landon. I had never seen his face before, but I knew it was him. Tall, lanky, a sharp, hungry look in his eyes. He smiled, like we were old friends. "You came," he said. I took a step back. "What do you want?" He sighed, shaking his head. "You still don't get it, do you?" I swallowed. My body screamed at me to run. Landon took something from his pocket, a small Ziploc bag, and inside it, strands of hair. Dark, coarse, something twisted in my stomach. "I took these from you that night," he murmured, "wanted to save a little piece of you." I tried to keep my face blank, but I knew he saw the panic in my eyes. He took a slow step closer. "You want to know what I'd do with you?" he whispered. He leaned in, lips almost at my ear. "I'd put you in a dark room, no light, no sound, just us." My breath hitched. "And then," he continued, voice soft, deliberate, "I'd pull hairs from your balls, one by one." I stiffened. "I'd floss my teeth with them," he whispered. I ran. I don't even remember making it back to my apartment, but I never slept properly again. A week later, I got one last message. It was a video. I hesitated, then pressed play. At first, the screen was black, then a faint blue glow appeared. The footage was grainy, shaky, someone recording in low light. And then I saw it, my window. Filmed from the outside, a dark figure standing just beyond the glass, camera zooming in slowly. I dropped my phone, rushed to the window, but there was nothing there, no sign that anyone had been. But when I checked my phone again, there was one more message. "I miss watching you sleep." I left Berlin the next day, but I know, wherever I go, you'll find me again.